अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यं मुनिध्येयमाकाशरूपं परेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
जगत्कारणं कारणज्ञानरूपं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं जगद्व्यापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
रजोयोगतो ब्रह्मरूपं श्रुतिज्ञं सदा कार्यसक्तं हृदाचिन्त्यरूपं जगत्कारणं सर्वविद्यानिदानं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं नतास्मः।
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
तमोयोगिनं रुद्ररूपं त्रिनेत्रं जगद्धारकं तारकं ज्ञानहेतुम् अनेकागमै स्वं जनं बोधयन्तं सदा सर्वरूपं गणेशं नमामः।
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
जनाज्ञानाहारं त्रयीवेदसारं परब्रह्मसारं मुनिज्ञानकारं विदुरेविकारं सदा ब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं नमामः।
निजैरोषधिस्तर्पयन्तं करादिरसुरौघ्नकलाभिः सुधास्राविणीभिः दिनेशांशु सन्तापहारं द्विजेशं शशाङ्कस्वरूपं गणेशं नमामः।
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
प्रधानस्वरूपं महत्तत्वरूपं धराचार्यरूपं दिगेशादिरूपं असत्सत्स्वरूपं जगद्धेतुरूपं सदा विश्वरूपं गणेशं नतास्मः।
त्वदीये मनस्तापयेदं धियोऽपि जनो विघ्नसङ्घातपीडां लभेत तत्सूर्यबिम्बे विशाले स्थितोऽयं जनोद्वान्तपीडा कथं पालयेत् वयं भ्रामिता सर्वथा ज्ञानयोगानलब्धास्तवान् वर्षपूर्वम् इदानीमवाप्तास्तवैव प्रसादात् प्रपन्नां सदा विश्वं भराणि भजन्ये विकल्पम् निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम.
Hari Om. Very happy Navaratri to all who are watching. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. We begin once again this evening with an invocation, a devotional offering.
ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमार ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमार श्री राज राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राज राजेश्वरी लक्ष्मी स्वरूपिणी ऐश्वर्यदायिनी लक्ष्मी स्वरूपिणी ऐश्वर्यदायिनी श्री राज राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राज राजेश्वरी तांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमार राज राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राज राजेश्वरी सरस्वती रूपिणी विद्या प्रदायिनी सरस्वती रूपिणी विद्या प्रदायिनी श्री राज राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राज राजेश्वरी तांगी लतांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी लक्ष्मी स्वरूपिणी ऐश्वर्यदायिनी लक्ष्मी स्वरूपिणी ऐश्वर्यदायिनी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी सरस्वती रूपिणी विद्याप्रदायिनी सरस्वती रूपिणी विद्याप्रदायिनी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी लतांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी चित्रांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी शारदा रूपिणी सौभाग्यदायिनी शारदा रूपिणी सौभाग्यदायिनी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी ललितांगी लतांगी लावण्य सुकुमारी श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी अम्ब श्री राजेश्वरी
The Vedas are divided into three or can be divided into three sections. One dealing with karma, action. One dealing with upasana, meditation, contemplation on the divine, which we otherwise think of as our bhakti yoga sadhana. And the third being knowledge. Each aspect, each part of the Veda that talks about these three things, they deal with something that is present within us. So the karma kanda part of the Vedas, they are to help us overcome this defect within us, which is called mala. Mala literally meaning dirt. Otherwise understood as tamas and its effect. Effects, plural. So wherever there is dullness, there is inertia, there is this destructive tendency, that is due to tamas, or which we otherwise refer in our Vedantic language as our raga dvesha, our likes and dislikes, our coloring. That becomes like dirt in our mind that doesn't allow us to see the world clearly. As a result of this, there is a lot of agitation and disturbance in our mind, because we are not seeing the world as it is, and therefore our experiences are different, and we experience either joy or sorrow. We are constantly being taken in different directions by the situations, the people, the objects we encounter. So disturbance is created in the mind. And finally, there is also what is called avarana. There is a veiling which exists, which doesn't allow us to recognize who we truly are. The Devi Mahatmya, which tells us the glories of Devi, allows us to understand these three problems, mala, vikshepa, and avarana, in a sort of pictorial form of the asuras who we see. So first, the very tamasic tendencies represented by Madhu and Kaitabha, the first two asuras who Devi deals with as Mahakali. There, she is the one who enables Bhagwan in the story, Bhagwan Vishnu, to wake up and to defeat these two asuras. The Rajasic opponent representing this Vikshepa is this Mahishasura, this demon who is able to change his form at will, and also Rakta Bija. Rakta Bija, this one asura who had this power, you could call it, that whenever a drop of his blood fell on the earth, another asura equal to him in power would be born from that drop of blood. So every time one was destroyed, one form, so many more would be created. And this is like the expression of rajas in our mind. There is a lot of agitation and disturbance. There is a lot of desire. And when we think that we have satisfied one desire, it's never the end of it. Countless more are produced. There, what happens is, because Devi is able to consume all of that blood that is spilt from Rakta Bija, no more asuras are born. Which means that to deal with rajas, we have to, one way for us to do that is to dedicate everything to God. If God is our altar, then these desires are not produced again and again. We are able to exhaust our vasanas in this way. But even after rajas, even after this vikshepa, this agitation is conquered, even when the mind becomes very sattvic, there are still obstacles that remain. Because even though sattva lends purity, it leads to knowledge, it is still a guna, and therefore it's still part of creation, when really speaking, our goal is to go beyond creation. So Devi also defeats Chanda, Munda, Dhumra Lochana, and Shumbha and Nishumbha. In the final part, when Devi appears as Mahasaraswati, the final asura who is left is Shumbha. And seeing everyone else defeated very angrily, he speaks to Devi and he says, "You can only defeat me by taking help from others, not on your own strength." And Devi says, "I am the only one who exists here. There is no one other than me. I alone am here in this world." Even sattva guna can become an obstacle for a seeker. When we have sublimated our tamasic and rajasic tendencies, we may develop this idea that I'm a very good seeker. I do my sadhana every day. I study the scriptures every day. I understand everything clearly. I understand and I'm able to explain to others clearly. I'm very kind, I'm very, very generous, I'm very loving. These thoughts, they become an obstacle. This sattvic tendency, it can also become an obstacle because it allows us to reinforce our ego. And therefore, the destruction of that is also needed. Because until our notion of ourselves as finite, as limited, comes to an end, we will not know ourselves as unlimited, as infinite, as one with that supreme truth, which is also Devi. So yesterday, in the Navadurga, Devi appears as Kala Ratri. Kala means time, and Ratri means night. Devi means that Devi in this form is the one who brings an end to time also. Time which governs this entire universe. Time which brings everything else to an end. Against which nobody can stand firm. We are all subject to time and its passing. That time also comes to an end in Devi, meaning in the Supreme. And therefore, the supreme power of destruction belongs to her. When we do wrong in our life, this power of destruction appears very painful to us. But when we live a life of dharma, when we live a life of sadhana, then we invoke this destructive power of Devi to destroy our negative tendencies, to destroy the obstacles that stand in our way between us and realizing her as our own true nature. She is the same, but different according to our experiences in this world. She is that principle governing this entire creation, and by which everything comes to an end. After the destruction of negative tendencies, today, Devi is worshipped as Gauri, as Gauri Mata. Gauri meaning fair or pure. Not an external fairness, or even an external kind of purity. This name is given to Parvati ji, because Parvati ji in her desire to be united with Bhagavan Shiva undertakes great austerity. As a result of that austerity, she attains this purity and she is united with Bhagavan. When we want something, some sacrifice is generally asked for, right? In this world, as they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Meaning, if we seek something, we are required to give something up in order to attain it. This is true on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis, but it's also true in a more long-term sense in our lives. And in order to attain what is pointed out by the scriptures as the goal of our life, in order to attain this supreme knowledge, sacrifices are required. We have to become what we are seeking. We have to cultivate such virtues within us that allow us to gain that highest gain. When we do tapas, when we perform austerity, we are making some sacrifice. Sacrifice means we are giving up something lower for the sake of something higher. Whether it's a lower tendency, a behavior, a speech pattern, even a thought pattern, we are giving it up for the sake of something more, something greater, something higher. And Devi is the one who, as Parvati ji, shows us how to do this, but also as that creative power allows us to conquer each obstacle that comes in our path, whether it's of a tamasic nature, whether it's of a rajasic nature, whether it's of a sattvic nature. The obstacles are part of Prakriti, the obstacles are part of this world, part of, therefore, Devi, but so are the solutions. Sometimes we feel that, especially for those who are students of Vedanta, we have a tendency to blame Maya for everything. But within Maya, within this creative power, is also the solution, the way out. If we ignore the divine, if we ignore the higher, we will meet obstacles. If we invoke the divine, it's not that obstacles won't be there. In fact, it's said that for those who seek something auspicious, something good, there are many obstacles. But they no longer present to us as problems. They may be challenges, but they are overcome by invoking the grace and blessings of Mother, who sees us through all difficulties. With her help, we conquer the gunas one by one, and realizing her true nature as our true nature, we go beyond the gunas also, by virtue of this knowledge that we are able to gain. That knowledge that comes by the blessings of Saraswati ji. Tomorrow we will be on the 9th night performing Saraswati Puja, and all are welcome to join in. The Vidhi, the Puja guidance has already been shared, so please do join us. And before we conclude this evening, we have a very special offering from our Bala Vihar and Shishu Vihar children. One final musical offering, and then we will conclude. Hari Om.
At Navaratri, Goddess Durga is invoked first to remove impurities from the mind. The Goddess Lakshmi is invoked to cultivate the noble values and qualities. Finally, Saraswati is invoked for gaining the highest knowledge of the self. This is the significance of the 3 sets of 3 nights, when all these 3 are gained subjectively, and then there will be Vijayadashami, the day of true victory. Hari Om.
Hi friends, today I'm gonna sing Saraswati mantra. Saraswati namastubhyam vade kamarupini vidyarambam karishami siddhir bhavatu me sada. सुंदरी माधवी चंद्र सहोदरी हे ममये मुनिगण मंदित मोक्ष प्रदायिनी मंजुल भाषिनी वेदनुते पंकजवासिनी देव सुपूजित सद्गुण वर्षिणी शांतियुते जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनी आदि लक्ष्मी सदपालय मां Adi Lakshmi Sadapalayamam Adi Lakshmi Sadapalayamam Ashta Lakshmi Sadapalayamam Hari Om. Hari 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 Om. Sham 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 Radhe Radhe Sham. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Ring Shim Sarvamangal Mangalye Shive Sarvat Sadhake Sharne Triyambake Gauri Navayani Namaste.
माँ पावाते गढ़ती उतर्या महाकाली रे माँ पावाते गढ़ती उतर्या महाकाली रे वसाव्यूं शापाने पावागढ़ वाणी रे वसाव्यूं शापाने पावागढ़ वाणी रे माँ पावाते गढ़ती उतर्या महाकाली रे माँ पावाते गढ़ती उतर्या महाकाली रे माँ चापाते नेरना चार चौटा माँ काली रे माँ चापाते नेरना चार चौटा महाकाली रे सोनिए मान्या मारी तोशीड़ा लावे चुंदड़ी महाकाली रे मारी तोशीड़ा लावे चुंदड़ी महाकाली रे मारी अम्मा माने काज पावागढ़ वाड़ी रे मारी अम्मा भवानी काज पावागढ़ वाड़ी रे माँ पावती गढ़ती उतरा महाकाली रे माँ पावती गढ़ती उतरा महाकाली रे.
Hari Om. Before we go to the announcements, just a reminder that for those who would like to offer dakshina, you may choose to do so after the 9th night Anawa Saraswati Puja tomorrow, or you can do so using the link that is there in the announcements. It's also on our Chinmaya Books website. So that is also available if you would like to make a contribution in the form of Guru Dakshina. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.